But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
No, it's bullshit, bro. I'm very calm. You're insane. Come on, man. I'm very calm. I didn't say that. I don't blow off people that I like. Right now. You're right. That is bullshit. Holy shit, are you kidding me? Now stop misquoting me. I don't know, dickhead, because I don't know what was going on that day, fuckface. You know that's what I was talking about. We were not going to do that, you ass. I'm paranoid and I have issues. Aw, don't get all angry and yell. Whatever, Jimmy. You are insane. You're right.
That's terrific. That's terrific.
Stop whining.
Stop.
Quiet.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
Stop with the semantics. Well, you gotta calm down a little bit.
God damn it, are you fucking with me?
Now we're having fun.
And welcome to the Opie and Anthony program.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning to everybody.
Good morning, Mr. Breakfast.
How's your tuna fish, Anthony?
Tuna.
God, where do we begin today? Oh, my
What a weekend.
God.
What a weekend we all had, huh?
Really, you think?
I think.
No.
It was fun-filled.
The message boards had a great
my
weekend.
God.
They had a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was like...
I hate to tell you guys, in the end, nothing.
Major traffic.
Nothing.
I was really entertained over the weekend checking in on the message boards and looking at the just thread after thread of speculation and accusation, masturbation, just throwing things out there. Some people that had pretty good insight on the situation at hand and what was going on.
Were you posting?
I think I posted like twice, but it was just pretty much quick little hits. Nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't have any long dialogue or any long monologue that I posted to answer to any of this. It was pretty much just, guys, what a bunch of tools. What a bunch of fucking tools.
I gotta tell you guys something. You know, a lot of people look at me like I'm insane.
Well,
read your posts on the message boards.
Yeah.
Read your posts. You're listening to the perfect show for you.
Wow.
At one point, they thought that you should leave the show.
Yeah. I don't know how I got cracked yet. You know, I read a couple like that. You know, Anthony really didn't support his showmates. Him just sitting there. And then another one was like, him just sitting there is proof that it was all fake. Because he would have jumped in. And I'm reading these just going, do you know when... And I would try to convey this at times earlier, maybe years ago on message boards, but I pretty much gave up. But do you know, and I'm talking to the people out there and some of the people that were posting and all this, do you know when you absolutely know something to be true because you were part of it, and then somebody says that it wasn't true?
Right.
Do you know the feeling of what an asshole you get looking at the person that, because it's you. It's you living it, you know it to be absolutely true. And someone saying, no, it wasn't true. Do you know how you feel about that person? How stupid they look to you because you are absolutely sure of what happened? That is what it was like reading some of these posts. Dude, so fake, such a bit, I can't believe any of you are falling for it. And I'm just thinking, how stupid these people come off posting stuff like that. First of all, no offense to Jimmy, because he is an actor. You know, he has done some acting. No offense to you, you're not an actor, but for anyone to assume that for almost an hour, for just about an hour, these two guys could put on a performance like that and hold it together and actually act like that, you're insane.
Oh, we would have pulled that for April Fools if we could have pulled it off.
There's no way. And based on past performance, we just don't do that. We don't do that fake radio.
Well, we're getting some of the message posts, some of the posts from the message boards there.
Mm-hmm.
Nathaniel just handed these in.
This is Smokey McPot. That fight was pretty funny. I'm a pretty good judge of character, so I think I know where it all stems from. Opie is annoyed that his show that he started is in the beginning is kind of being hijacked by Norton.
Wrong. Try again.
On the other hand, I think that Jim might kind of get bothered by Opie sometimes. I mean, he's in shape, fairly good looking, and doesn't pay for sex. So that's Jimmy's problem. Opie's my fave guy on the show. Sure, he doesn't do impressions or make fun of Lacey Peterson, but he keeps things together. This is Ack, I guess. I must say, after listening, I could swear it was real, but taking everything into consideration, I think at this point I'm 50-50 in favor of it being a bit.
Oh, God.
Taking into account Opie's recently talking about smoking pot and the fight being replaced with a Tommy Chong bit. See, here's the you guys are assholes. God, they look into everything. Did you see the post where they looked into the song that was played after the fight?
Oh, the 9 Inch Nails song?
The 9 Inch Nails song.
Right.
Dude, they were like, dude, did you hear what... Jesus.
Shit's going down, dude.
Did you hear the song? Oh, it is in there? Cool. Also, his now positive stance with XM would be part of that gag, like when you're high and you're just positive about everything. Playing the hand that feeds from 9 Inch Nails coming back from the break sounds like a little cue. They're screwing with us, because at that point the argument was over, and I don't think Opie would have taken a jab like that at that point. Opie, did you know 9 Inch Nails was being played?
Yeah, and I was at the time, because after the fight...
I mean, did you play it yourself?
Oh, no.
Did you know it was coming up?
No.
Of course not.
Of course not.
That's more people speculating and posting that have no clue how things work in here.
We pick a lot of music that we want to play coming out of break, and then the guys in the booth, I don't think they even purposely played it. It was just coming up randomly, and that it just happened to go that way. Right, Derek? Ben actually picked it. So maybe Ben was messing with the audience a little bit.
I must say it was fake. They are, if it was fake, they are the greatest actors. They were so quick back and forth and pretty much never hesitated, and it sounded exactly like those intense fights you have with family or friends. Because it was an intense fight with a friend. And the more I think about it, here's another one from Dupree. The more I think about it, the more I blame Ben Sparks.
Ben just threw his arms up in the air.
Like, what would I do? His gossip is probably what started a lot of this in the first place. Opie brought him in to verify that Jimmy had problems in the past with some of the shows. Who knows if Ben is right or not? It's pretty obvious that Ben and Jimmy don't like each other very much. It's pretty obvious, dude. Oh, my God, there's a deep love there.
It's just amazing. Anthony and I have been doing this show together for 10 years. Jimmy's been doing the show with us off and on. Well, now on,
Last
obviously.
year we were at NEW.
So he's up to, a few years himself now. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of sad that the people that listen to the show really have no clue how it works. They really don't. Some of you do.
You can't blame them for not having a clue. That isn't even, I wouldn't even go there. I'm not blaming them for not having a clue. I'm blaming them for intense speculation without any basis, without any clue. Like, if you don't have a clue, that's fine. But now if you're basing these really strong opinions on not having a clue, you're an idiot.
Right.
And we read them and go, oh, my God, what an idiot.
Yeah.
Totally wrong.
And it was kind of sad, but, you guys do what you want with the message boards, but... just watching everyone pick sides and try to, do the divide and conquer and all that.
Unbelievable.
It was
unbelievable.
We're talking about the huge fight on Friday, obviously, that I thought, in my mind, was a 10-minute fight.
No.
That's how intense it was.
No.
I had no idea.
10 minutes. I thought it was 3.5 hours.
Really?
But from me sitting here, from everybody else except for you two, it went on and just wouldn't stop.
If you asked me, though, I would have said, it was like a 10-minute fight.
Yeah.
I mean, notes were being, thrown in front of my face, move on. And
no, that went on.
And that made me laugh. I'm like, when you're in that really bad zone where you're fighting and stuff, you can't just stop it and go, okay, that was a good radio bit. Let's move on to something funny, everybody.
Yeah.
But for
just shut
people
it
to
off.
divide and conquer, and they just don't get what this show's all about. None of us are going anywhere.
Everybody got reamed on the boards. It was so funny.
The best
to
was
go through.
I expected to get reamed, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy got reamed, of
Yeah.
course. But I didn't think they were going to throw you on the bus.
Oh, I get reamed too. Yeah, there were a few of those. I'm reading them going, what did I do? I just sat there. Dude, that's just it. Just fucking sat there. What the hell was I supposed to do?
Absolutely amazing.
You know, if Anthony, it's so telling that Anthony didn't jump in. It just goes to show you that he doesn't like these two guys. What? The speculation running wild over the weekend. The message board, Whackbag at least, crashed so many times. They had more traffic than they've ever had. It was insane.
All the message boards were
Were
crashing. I took a peek here and there, posted a couple things really fast, and that was it.
Yeah, I had a couple of posts. Said 1%. Said 1% of the people posting in the thread had good insight on what was going on. 49.5% were complete tools, and the other 49.5%, I put some derogatory thing about their mother. That's pretty much it.
That's what it gets.
That's what it degenerates to.
Yeah, I just wish some of the smarter people that have a little intelligence could kind of, take controls of those message boards a little bit.
Never happened. It's not the nature of the beast, man. The message boards are what they are. And when you realize that, then you're fine with it. There are some people, Opie, not as familiar as working with message boards as the seasoned veterans that are on this show.
Right. Well, the one thing I want to say, for the people that want me to leave the program, let me explain something to you, okay? And I'm going to say this. Anthony and I are complete equal partners here, complete. And Jimmy is pretty much an equal partner at this point as well, okay? That's a fact. But the reality is, this whole show was my vision almost 20 years ago. Do you people understand where this show started from?
Yeah.
And you think I'm just going to, walk away from it? Never.
Yeah, leave.
Never.
God, leave.
When I walk away and we go our own ways, I will definitely leave radio, and I bet Anthony goes off and does something completely different, and he'll be just as successful. But as far as this show goes, I'm not going anywhere. This was my vision 20 years ago.
Where's he going?
It started with just me and a bunch of stupid records getting goofy in between songs, and then developing from there. But the vision started back in 1985, something like that.
Yeah.
And then Anthony jumped on in 94, So we've been at this a while.
Yeah.
And Jimmy's not going anywhere because Ant and I, we're very calculated. We talked many times ago, it would be cool to have a third person in here. So Jimmy's not going anywhere.
No one's leaving.
No one's leaving. And Anthony's not going anywhere. I mean, he might do the show from a bubble suit or something.
That is
but he's not
my goal.
leaving.
That is the goal I have. Like you had your vision, I have mine.
Right.
Doing this program from an antiseptic bubble.
But for the people that just don't understand the players and what they do for the show, you really got to start listening a little longer.
No, they'd rather
and concentrate
just
a little longer instead of just speculating. You get one little tidbit of information, and then you lose your minds and say really dumb, stupid shit. Is what it comes down to.
It's really, really fun to look at the speculation based on nothing, based on stuff that they are sure that we did on purpose. That when I read it, I go, it was such a passing thing, I never gave it a second thought, and I barely even know what they're talking about. But they have it in their minds as such a calculated thing that we absolutely planned. Unbelievable. Now, you spoke with Jimmy.
Of course I did. By the way, Eric just handed me a note. 37 pages.
37
about the fight
pages.
that happened on Friday. Well, here's the deal. Jimmy and I went at it big time. We both have a lot of stupid tension in our lives. Jimmy's got the HBO thing that he's preparing for. That's the only reason he's not here, by the way.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say too much until he gets here on Wednesday, But I want everyone to get back on the same fucking page because it's a very exciting night tomorrow night. We're all going down to see Jim Norton tape his HBO special.
Very exciting indeed.
So, as far as the fight and as far as, picking sides, I like Jimmy better. I like Opie better. I like Anthony the best. Anthony is the true glue of the show. Jesus Christ. Calm the fuck
Shut
down.
up.
The reality is, I don't regret that it happened, but we're you know, we are on the same team is what it comes down to, okay? I knew after we fought that it was going to be fine. I just knew. But I couldn't talk the rest of the show. I just had just a raging headache. And I even apologized to Anthony after the show. I'm like, dude, I wasn't trying to be a dick after the fight. I couldn't even talk anymore because of, you know, the tension in my head. All right? So then we cooled off. And then on Saturday, Jimmy called me. I would have called him, but he beat me to the punch. I wasn't sitting there like some diva waiting for him to call me. Trust me, I wasn't at all.
That's after the phone calls I took.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I talked to you. I talked to Jimmy.
Oh, really?
Before you two talked to each other.
Are you like the mediator, unofficially?
No, it wasn't a mediator. You guys obviously didn't need a mediator, but I was kind of the, you know, is it cool to make the call guy? Like, I talked to Opie, and then I talked to Jimmy. And it was like, yeah, well, you think it's a... Yes, of course, call.
Were you starting an alliance with Jimmy behind my back?
That's exactly what was happening. People, start your speculation.
Right. It's like to Jimmy, you know, dude, I've been noticing the signs for a couple of years now. I really think if we do this right, we could get him kicked off the show, and it'll be you and I.
It's so obvious what needs to be done here.
I did show up to work today without shoes.
Yeah, you did.
And I, you know, after Friday's show and, like, all the uncomfortable looks I did get when I got in today, and now I'm showing up without shoes and my hair askew.
Yeah. Because,
you know, I rollerblade to work every morning, and usually right out of the shower, so, you know, it's windblown and it looks, like, awful, but I don't really care, you know. And I walk in, and usually I throw my shoes in my backpack.
Yeah.
I forgot. Because I was rushing out of the house this morning, so I'm showing up into the office with just no shoes on.
And when you do something crazy like that, you have to address it immediately.
Oh, yeah.
It was the first words out of Opie's mouth.
Oh, yeah, because I saw, like, the looks starting. Just starting. And I'm like, all right, I got to squash this one right away before one of these guys secretly posts on the message board, he's now showing up to work without shoes.
I'd assumed you took your blades off and you were in between, you know, taking the blades off and putting your shoes on.
I go to Anthony, dude, don't think I'm crazy. I just forgot my shoes today. It's going to be a little awkward walking around the office trying to do a radio show without shoes.
I said, you think I think you're crazy because you don't have shoes on after Friday? So that was the whole thing, too. It was like, yeah, I'm crazy because I washed my hands after Tippy Tom is in the studio. But after Friday's display, yeah, I'm the crazy one.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, of course Jimmy and I talked on Saturday. Jimmy and I, the reality is, and this is what's going to make a lot of people laugh, we're really, really good friends.
Yeah.
Extremely good friends, okay?
You guys hang out more than, I think, anybody else on the show.
Yeah, we're really, really, really good friends, and it was just one of those things. It's like brothers fighting. It's like friends fighting. Let me tell you something. Anthony and I have had some of these fights behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know, it's what happens when you work every day with people.
Yeah.
You know, we've gone
no
through...
knockdown dragouts like that. Certainly didn't last that long.
No.
They were quick.
Quick.
Even, you know something? Give a little tidbit to the old listeners. There were a couple that were really heated right before the mics went on at NEW. None here. Seconds before the mics went on.
Seconds. Yeah.
But the professionalism showed through back then. And you didn't have the insane Jimmy factor.
Right. It was weird because...
But there were a couple of times where seconds before the mics went on at NEW, we had a tiff.
Tiff?
Yeah.
Brutal.
Pretty good brawl.
I mean, where people would leave the office, remember those?
And go, oh, boy.
And then we'd walk down the hall, like, hating the other person. This is going way back.
Say nothing.
Say absolutely nothing to each other. Turn the mics on and make believe we were the best of friends.
Here goes the show.
And then the mics would turn off, and then we wouldn't even look at each other or talk to each other.
Yeah.
It was the most uncomfortable 4 hours
God, that did
ever.
Suck. Oh, Jesus.
We did a few of those, actually.
Yeah. Not many at all, though.
No.
It really wasn't. It was a handful. Probably in the whole time we were there, if it was 5, it was...
Yeah.
I don't even think it was that many. Probably 3.
Yeah, well, you know. I mean, we've been doing this for 10 years, so a few,
you're
few
gonna
tips,
get,
whatever.
You know.
But anyway, so, yeah, Jimmy called me, and he goes, hey, Ope. I go, uh-oh, awkward moment. And he just starts laughing. I just start laughing. And I swear to you, within less than 2 minutes, it was totally cool. Totally
done,
cool.
over.
Completely
back to
cool.
goofing.
And then we talked for, like, I don't know, 40 minutes just making each other laugh really, really hard about BS crap and blah, blah, blah. And Jimmy will give his take on Wednesday when he's here.
Yeah, Jimmy called me up, and at first, like all Friday afternoon, I didn't take any calls. I just let the machine pick up because I really didn't want to deal with anything. I was exhausted. Just wanted to lay down and do nothing. So Saturday, I get the phone rings again, and it's Jimmy, so I answer it. And he, because I didn't answer his message, he had called Elo, and Elo didn't answer either. So he was like, I'm thinking was something going on, like we're all conspiring, like, all right, it was obvious Jimmy has to go. We got to get rid of him. He's going to be fired. He just doesn't know, so I'm not taking his calls or anything.
Yeah.
But Jimmy, no, nothing's going on. Don't even, you got this HBO thing. Keep that in your mind. Don't worry about this shit at all.
Poor Jimmy.
It's over and done with.
Of course it is.
But and then I was thinking, oh my God, imagine if I didn't answer that call. He'd have been insane. He'd have jumped. He'd have jumped out of his window.
See, if we really were twisted, we would have not answered his calls all weekend.
Oh, no, I couldn't do that to the little guy.
No, of course not.
Oh, poor little guy.
So, no, we all have to get on the same page immediately, no matter whose side you were on in the fight.
A lot of people picking sides.
Oh, my God, because the HBO thing is happening, and we really, really want to support and need to support Jimmy through that.
Yeah.
Because it's all going to be O&A fans there tomorrow night. We're all going. It's going to be great.
Yep.
My brother got in on the action, man.
This was a part of the battle on the message boards over the weekend that just had me roaring. I love your brother, and that he is so naive as far as these things go.
The message board?
So new at it. It was adorable to watch.
But you know what? He doesn't care. That's the beauty of it.
I know.
That's the beauty of it. See, that's my barometer, by the way. I mean,
yeah.
I know I got problems. I know I got a switch in my head that goes off. That's why in the past we used to joke about the psycho factor in my head, blah, 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 comes out from time to time. But what happens with me is nothing compared to what happens with my brothers. I talked to one of my brothers about the fight, because he didn't hear and he listens every day. My brother Brett, and he goes, "Did you give him that huge anger?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I did."
Whoa.
We're known for this stupid huge anger where we just go down to just being asses.
It was brutal,
and just stringing curse words together. Do you got one of those?
I think so. Yeah. Computer's got to come back to life.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Thank you.
What was that?
I don't know.
Oh.
Oh, good. It's rebooting.
Oh, it's rebooting now?
Yeah, computer locked.
All right. Well,
That's
Anthony.
Good. That's good. I should take that and smash it.
Ooh.
That's what I should
do. That's
do.
outrageous, Anthony.
I'm crazy. I'm wild. Isn't that good? Why should you have to log? Can't a computer sit next to me for 3 minutes and not go into some mode where you have to enter? I have to come down from the ceiling on wires like Mission Impossible and not hit the lasers that are going and turn it back on. Why can't it just sit there?
I don't know.
Oh, Opie, this isn't negativity. I don't want you to think I'm being negative. What's going on with that, Mars? Why did it all of a sudden shut off?
All right, he's figuring it out. You're playing with the Jimmy. Oh boy,
that's not a good sound.
That's never a good sound.
The Jimmy Opie soundboard that somebody put together.
Right.
I give props to the guy. He took all a lot of the fun clips from the argument and put them on a soundboard.
Right.
And over the weekend, me and my girlfriend were laying in bed with the laptops, just having an argument with each other with the soundboards. I love it.
Whatever.
That was the condescending part of the argument where Opie would go,
"Whatever.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares? Whatever." and then Jimmy,
Whatever. Whatever. Who cares? Whatever. I didn't say that. I said goodbye to Sean Rouse. I don't blow off people that I like.
That is so sociopathic. I almost don't know how to respond to it.
could be my favorite line of the whole argument, by the way. When Jimmy paused there before sociopathic.
No offense to Jimmy, but I looked at him when he said that. I wanted to just strangle him. I'm like, you're calling me that? Are you insane?
You wanted to strangle each other.
I know. Whatever.
This disgust, whatever. The disgust, whatever. Listen.
Whatever.
Whatever. Whatever.
You see, you're making this up as you go along. I wasn't here, Ope. Stop misquoting me.
You are insane.
You are insane. It's great. Great soundboard.
Anyway,
yeah, so your brother got on board.
Oh, yeah, you want to go there first?
You know, your brother will always come to the other brother's defense.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as message boards go, it's impossible to make any headway.
But he doesn't care. That's why...
I know. I understand he wasn't trying to make any headway, but it's so funny that, like, there comes a point where you just don't even do this anymore. You just throw your hands up and go, I got to accept this as a barrel of tools.
Right.
You know? There's a couple of people that have insight. The rest, just idiots. And he addresses it, and it's very funny.
Yeah, it's my brother Elmo. So someone posted, it's a quote from me, I'm just trying to get the negativity out of my life. What a bullshit line from Opie. I have to explain that a little further. We made a conscious effort just before vacation to stop with the negative bullshit toward XM. Mm-hmm. And we knew we had to turn the page, get on the same page with the company, and move on. You know, because the company came to us aggressively and said, look, we understand all the problems you guys are having. We're going to make it better for you guys. We're going to redo the whole studio, which they did, by the way. Mm-hmm. Okay? So, I mean, I'm biting my lip and trying not to be, you know, Mr. Negative Asshole. Right. I'm trying, at least, okay? Just because I think it's time to move on. I think the listeners are sick of hearing us bitch. I really do. You know, we had reasons to bitch, but now it's time to move on. Simple as that. That's what I was trying to say with that, okay? So the guy goes, what a bullshit line from Opie. So my brother goes, you're a fan of the show? You do not know Opie personally. You don't know a damn thing about him. This is a very important point that many people on this board miss. My bro can defend himself, so he doesn't need me. But I will say his statement about eliminating negativity from his life is absolutely true, and it reflects his attitude of positive thinking. He specifically, and my family in general, have had a seemingly unending negative streak the last couple of years. A lot of things that the fans know nothing about. He channels all his energy into doing a great show. To sit there and call him a bullshitter is beyond the scope of reality. It is a completely disingenuous statement from someone I can only assume it is an utter moron. Why don't you ask yourself, what do I personally know about Opie? If the answer is not a thing, then do us a favor and shut up. So then this guy writes, whether any of us know him or not, he fucking disintegrated yesterday in front of the whole fucking country. Maybe he was just being an ass, something he seems to try real hard to do. But still, there's no excuse for him to treat Jimmy like he did. Regardless of what kind of radio show it is, Jimmy's right. An acknowledgement of thanks should always be given on air to guests. And Opie just said, tough shit, what an ass. The whole thanking Sean Rouse got blown way out of proportion. I was the one that wanted him on the show. I think he's a beyond funny guy.
You know something? The basis of the argument was nothing compared to the argument itself. Like, I didn't even really give the basis of the argument that much thought.
Right.
And then when I did, I kind of saw Jimmy's side of it and all, but being familiar with the show because I've been sitting here for 10 years, I understand what it's like. The guest comes in, especially a comic that isn't like, you know, Eddie Murphy coming in and, you know, sitting down and waiting. They're going to have to wait until they come in, depending on what's going on. Some of them get brought right in, some of them don't.
Yeah,
if we're talking about something or we have a subject that we're going to get going on, even if we don't, put it this way too, even if we don't have material that we're just ready to go to, we kind of want to get something started before we bring people in so that they can then become part of the show and not sit there and do their act.
Right.
They have to be able to come into something that's already stirring a little bit.
And join the environment.
Right. So when a comic sits out there for a while, we're just getting things going in here so we can be brought into an atmosphere that's more conducive to jumping in. What's his name there?
Sean Rouse.
Sean was sitting out there for a while we were getting stuff going. We had Chris Jericho coming in, and a lot of people were like, you know, it's bullshit because Opie played a Fozzy song at the end of the show, and that would have been plenty of time to talk. Chris pretty much said he wanted that Fozzy song played. You know, that was what he said as almost, I don't want to say a condition of him coming on, but it was one of those things, guys, I want to come on the show, but I really like it if you guys played one of my tunes.
Well, he's a friend of the show, and if a friend of a show asks us to do something, we'll give him a promise. Like, yeah all right, we'll play your song at the end of the show. No problem, man.
Now, other times, also with Sean, comics come in. Sometimes they can sit down and immediately they're great. They work on the show, and it's fine. They fit in. They're talking about whatever we're talking about. They're being funny. Other times they come in, don't say 5 words, pretty much get acclimated to what we do, and then their next appearance is brilliant, you know? Mm-hmm. That's just the way this show works. And he came in, it wasn't a stellar appearance.
He didn't
suck. Gotta be honest.
He didn't suck, but nothing was really developing there.
It's not something that people are going to call back and go, wow, I got to hear that again, or write about in months to come and go, wasn't that a great appearance or anything? It just happens. It's not that the guy isn't funny, he sucks, he can't. It's just some people come in here, and depending on what's going on sometimes, or depending on their head or ours or whatever, you know, Colin's been great on our show. Colin Quinn comes on, has been hysterically funny when we've had Laverne and Shirley in and everything like that. His last appearance on this show stunk on ice. Doesn't mean Colin sucks. A lot of that was our fault that day. It just happens. That's how it is. Doesn't mean Colin sucks. Doesn't mean Sean sucks.
Right.
But that's just the way it worked. And because that was what was going on, it wasn't like we were going to say, all right, let's dedicate the last 10 minutes of the show to Sean, because it just wasn't, we weren't feeling it, is what, you know, is how you put it.
See, it's really simple with this program, too. Anthony and I, you know, we and Jimmy, we come up with stuff. Wow, what was that?
The computer shut off again.
Oh, okay. Basically, we'll do what's called bits or whatever you want to call them, okay? And we'll get into a flow. Mm-hmm. We cannot stop that flow just to get someone in here to make them happy. We just can't do it. We won't do it as we move forward here. Mm-hmm. We just won't. I mean, if all of a sudden Ozzy's walking through the door, then you might see us stop. Definitely. But in general, it is so hard to do this radio show on a daily basis that when Anthony and I and Jimmy are in a flow, what we do as performers is we ride that out as long as we possibly can for your enjoyment. And then when that ends, what happens when we hit the commercial break, we sit here and regroup and go, okay, what's next? Okay, we got Sean, we got this, Chris Jericho's coming in. Then we figure out where we're going to go next. And then when that person comes in or that next bit starts, guess what? We try to ride that out as long as we can. And if we go to the phones and the phones are hot, you know what? We'll ride them out as long as we can and then regroup. Yeah. That's what frustrates the hell out of me, that these people just don't understand how a radio show works.
They just hear it on the
outside. They don't get it. They just don't get it. They just assume we're so brilliant that all of a sudden, you know, we'll stop what we're doing because, you know, there's a comic sitting outside waiting to come in. It just doesn't work that way.
Opie, I wasn't really getting the they think we're so brilliant thing, though, on the message.
No, I understand that. But, I mean, as far as, like, just stopping what we're doing and just starting with somebody else like that, and it's going to be radio gold. It just doesn't work that way.
That we should be able to just, the second they walk in, put them on the air here and continue what we were doing. Sometimes it's distracting. We're in a flow. We're talking about a subject that me, Opie, and Jimmy are really familiar with. We're rolling on it. We're throwing stuff back and forth. To bring another person in that really isn't familiar with that puts a damper on it, you know, puts the brakes on it.
Right.
So we try not to do that. And if that means people have to wait, they have to wait.
You know, I hate to tell you, but at this point in our careers, too, it's really a privilege for these people to be on our show. Most of them are friends. I'm not talking about the friends of the show, you know. I mean, we're just all friends, and we enjoy each other's company and make each other laugh. But there's a bunch of other people. It truly is just a privilege to get on the air. And if that means you get here at 7 in the morning and you don't get on until, quarter to 11, tough shit. You know, it's still great exposure for whoever that person might be.
Right.
It's simple as that. It's not like the old days where we're doing a little show, for Worcester, Massachusetts, where we're thankful when these people are coming on our show. At this point, we're really doing a lot of people, favors. We just are. It's just the nature of the beast, I mean, think about Letterman. Letterman, bumps people all the time. Know why?
Yeah, because they show up and they don't get on at all.
Because Letterman does his monologue or something, and it's flowing, so he goes, 2 or 3 minutes longer doing a monologue or something. And don't start comparing us to Letterman. I'm just trying to make an example, you asses. Because
because someone's already typing.
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe they would actually compare themselves to David Letterman.
Dude.
No, as far as this type of programming works, if you go along somewhere else, something else is going to suffer. That's all I'm saying. So when Letterman does a long monologue because he feels like he's flowing and he's in the zone, guess what? Sometimes that means he's got to bump a comic or something. So.
Right.
So you can't stop the flow of the show just to get someone in here that might be waiting a little too long outside. You just can't.
Right.
So moving on with this guy's post, Back in My Brother. What an ass. Okay. It reminds me of the intro they used to play where it had that quote from Opie where he said, "We are just dicks." Almost like he's proud of being a dick and he needs to shout it out from a rooftop. Hey, look at me. I'm a dick.
He needs to quit trying so hard to be a prick and do the radio show. It's like lately he's forcing it and it comes across as fake. Again, I don't know him personally and don't care to, but he fucking lost his mind yesterday. Oh, and before you tell people to shut up about Opie and how hard his fucking life has been, how about taking a look at how he treats people on the radio show? Fuck Opie, he can take a few shots. So my brother writes back, listen, prick. Did he even read my fucking post? What an ass. You're talking about Jimmy and how hard my bro's fucking life has been. What a complete tool. None of your stupid comments had any bearing on what I posted, so why the F did you quote me? If you don't know Opie personally, then don't say shit like, I'm just trying to get the negativity out of my life. What a bullshit line from Opie. It's a pathetic statement by an obvious asshole. Very simple. Obviously, you're such a freaking moron that you just want people to pay attention to you. Well, I'm paying attention to you. You're a dick. You know it. I know it. And the world laughs at you when you walk down the street.
Pat from Unaki says, does Elmo realize he's probably arguing with a 12-year-old?
Yeah. Good one, Pat. Good one, Pat.
Well, what are you going to do?
All right. And then, I mean, my brother was all over the message board.
Oh, crazy.
Here's another post from him. Yeah, let's see who the little douchebag is, you fucking tool. If you have such a bad opinion of my bro, then turn your XM in and go elsewhere, asshole. Little whining jerks like you make me laugh. Your life is so utterly pathetic that you try to be big man on a fucking message board. What a dick. You're laughable. At least other people are discussing the incident as normal human beings. Go away. No one will miss you. That is for sure.
Oh, well.
So anyway, let's go to the phones real fast. Then we'll move on to other things today. Chad in Virginia, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
I got to tell you, real or not, that was the best radio you guys have done yet. But I want to know why XM cut it out of the replay. I got up at 3 a.m. this morning to listen to it, and I had to listen to Tommy fucking Chong.
I know. Well, I got to explain that.
Big controversy there.
Punching out.
Here's the deal. After the show Friday, I just had an awful headache, and I just left the building. Because I wrote that in one of my posts, like, oh, you couldn't even stick around to, like, try to work things out. No, my head was hurting so bad, I just had to get out of the
Everyone
area.
got out of here.
Yeah, we all just went our own ways, okay? I had no idea that they were going to edit the fight out. I swear to you. No one called me. No one called Anthony. Jimmy had nothing to do with it. The show, the guys on the air had nothing to do with it. Supposedly Ben and Eric Logan decided to cut the fight out of the replays. I guess it ran once, and then after that, they decided it just wouldn't be smart to replay it, which is so sad and stupid, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I know.
Because as far as radio goes, you know, the reality is I look like an ass on Friday. I'm not dumb. I know that. And at times, Jimmy looked like an ass. He knows that. But you know what? But we also understand that makes great radio. We both understand that big time. Right. And for them to, like, not replay that, not only all day Friday and then over the weekend, is just dumb programming as far as XM goes.
Whose call was that?
And I gotta tell you, Eric Logan, who we love and he supports the show, he dropped the ball on this one.
Yeah,
because
why would you pull that?
Why, as a listener, would you not? Because this is their logic. Not want to hear, in my opinion, very real, honest, awful, with all the scars type of radio for 45, 50 minutes. Who wouldn't want to listen to that? As long and stupid as it was, and instead want to listen to an old Tommy Chong interview. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Not at all. What was his logic in that one?
I don't know. Maybe we could get him on the air, and
I'd love to know what the thinking is. Where the negative? Because he must have had some kind of thought it was a bad idea. Had some. What is it? What's the downside of playing that as far as ELO's concerned?
I don't know. Because
I'd love to know.
The message boards went nuts on that, so I quickly posted, like, look, you guys got to understand. Jimmy, and I forgot to throw your name in there. Because then they speculate, whoa, Anthony doesn't even have a say anymore.
Oh.
But I was thinking because it was Jimmy and I's, fight or whatever. So
I didn't even have you wrote it that way, so it looked like I didn't have a say?
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah. Or that you might have been the one that
made the call.
That pulled it. Because I didn't mention your name.
I called ELO and said, do you know something? And this is the God's honest truth. I don't even have ELO's phone number in my phone. I had to call Ben to get ELO's phone number, and it's written down somewhere, but I don't make those calls because I don't want to talk to management. I like ELO as a person. I like ELO hanging out when we go out to dinner, and like he's the anti-Bob Eatman at dinners. He's fun. His conversations are entertaining, and I like ELO as a person. But as far as work-related stuff, I cannot be bothered talking to any of them. I don't want to talk to them. I don't like to. And when people speculate as to who is who's superior here in our little show world, me and Ope are equal. There's not going to be any decisions made without consulting the other one. And on all aspects of the show, we're equal. But Opie, for some reason, I don't even want to use the word enjoys, but you do seem to enjoy.
No, I used to.
Dealing with these people more than I do.
I used to. I mean, how this happened was, I was the, quote, experienced radio guy, and then, Anthony came aboard, and he was very green, but had unbelievable raw talent, and now, I'm talking 10 years ago, now it's like,
I was a diamond in the rough.
Now it's like we're completely equal, but Anthony didn't really know how a radio station worked or how radio in general works, so...
Happy to be there.
So I took on the role as, the go-to guy. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, 10 years later, I'm still looked at as the go-to guy, and I'm trying to get away from that role.
Yeah.
More and more. I really am. I don't enjoy it anymore at all. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it made the air, but because we were fighting during the breaks and stuff too Friday, and Jimmy's like calling me the boss and stuff, and that drives me nuts. I don't want to be considered the boss. I really don't. Mm. That's why I told Jimmy and other people, like, if you have a problem, then you go to the bosses, or if you had a problem with how Sean Rouse was handled on the show, then jump in. It's not my call.
Well, then everything should be delegated through Ben. That's it. That's what I do. Because I don't enjoy dealing with upper management of any corporation. And that's just been me throughout my whole life. I don't like bosses. I never have. So if I have an issue with anything, I go to Ben, and I go, Ben, this, that, and I let it filter through Ben.
I don't mind dealing with Eric Logan at all. I don't. And if there's things to discuss, obviously I call you right away, and we don't make any decisions unless you and I agree. Mm-hmm. That's how it's always been. But as far as like being looked at as the boss, the main guy in the show, I really have hated that for years, and have really tried my best to get away from that. Yeah. I don't know why it's still looked at that way, but whatever.
It's because you're the guy that does,
But, just a horrible call by Washington to edit the fight out. The negativity was just, two really good friends just ripping their heads off. Yeah. And Jimmy even admitted to me on Saturday, he's like, dude, I've had these knockout, drag-out fights with all my friends that are close to me.
Yeah.
He says he's had legendary ones with Keith Robinson, and he mentioned a few other people. I don't want to quote him because I forget exactly, but I think
did he break the N-word out during those?
Yeah, you can only imagine. So, let's go to Dan in Jersey. Dan, what's up?
Hey guys, I just wanted to know how many times Jimmy blinked that almost psychotic blink during the argument.
Yeah, blinky.
Yeah, he was blinking pretty good. Well, we'll get Jimmy's, his whole take on this thing on Wednesday. The only reason he's not here today or tomorrow is because he's getting ready for the big HBO thing tomorrow night.
Yeah, he's getting like his sleep done, and he's working out at the clubs, I guess.
Well, this is huge for Jimmy, and it's huge for the show as well.
These HBO specials, once you do them, they're out there. They last forever. How many of these do you tune in? Like HBO plays, you see ones from the 80s and stuff. These things just are there forever, so you want to be able to. You want to make sure you do them right.
Right. So, I asked that we all get on the same page because obviously a lot of you guys are going to the taping tomorrow night, and you got to show nothing but support to Jimmy.
Respect.
Let's go to Ed in California. Ed, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hey, I just wanted to let you know that me and a bunch of people out here, we were talking about the last week because we've only been listening since you guys came on in October. We actually paid the 6 cents a day.
Right.
And I have to say, hands down, it was pretty much the best week you guys had on XM. I have no idea about your NEW days. Never listened to you then, but it was by far the best week. And
we got a lot of audio from our NEW days on oavirus.com, so you can do a little catching up in your free time.
Yeah,
there's some great stuff on there.
Overall, and you're right. It was a little rough in October, going through November. But you guys caught up. But man, it was fantastic last week. Overall, just who you brought in, what happened, stuff that was said, yada, yada, yada. It was just, I was crying over the weekend. It was so funny, man. I listened both Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, that's cool. No, it sucks. On Friday, we were having it was setting up to be another really good show, too. Yeah. And then Jimmy said something during the break, and I don't know, a switch went off in my head, and the weird thing, a switch went off in his head at the same time.
You two were both.
That's
it was
rare.
one of those. The perfect storm happened. You know, it was one of those things where. And another factor,
because
which
I wasn't
up,
planning on going there, and he wasn't. Because there are times, because Jimmy and I are very close, and our personalities are such that we're both like psychopaths, really.
You're both insane.
And there are times like Jimmy will have a problem with me and give me a quick blast, and I'll back down like, whoa, okay, yeah, you make a good point or whatever, and I'll do the same to him, and he'll back down. But for some reason, it just was like 2 Rams ready to go.
And then you brought up another point over the weekend, the fact that and I never do this, I left the studio. So I wasn't even here at the beginning of this to maybe say...
Oh, you would have squashed it.
Yeah.
Because
guys, we're going back on the air. Deal with this after the show.
What happened was that we go to commercial, and Jimmy was excited about Yoshi and those people, the porn people being here, and I made just a side comment like, oh God, more porn crap, because we're really trying to figure out what we could do with the naked chicks and the porn on this show, and that made him say, oh man, you can't make them wait like you did Sean Rouse, and I went, what? And at that point, you left the studio.
I left the studio.
Before that, actually.
Now, I went out because my root canal dentist had been talking about how he wanted to come in and watch the show.
Oh, that's right. Your dentist was out there.
So I walked out to talk to him, and I never leave the studio. So I walked out and missed the whole beginning of this argument. And by the way, it's great. The dentist, the first time he comes in to see the show live, he was shell-shocked. He left. I didn't even get to say goodbye to him. He was looking through this window, dude, shell-shocked, like, oh, my God, is this what goes on this fucking show? So now he's got this image of the show that it's just us killing each other and getting on the air. Hi, how you doing, people? So when I walked back in, you guys are already fully involved.
Way involved.
Way out of control. I couldn't put it out.
I'll be honest. I think the best stuff was said off air, unfortunately, because it was the beginning of the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And then we just jumped in when we got back live.
2 seconds of trying to fake it when those mics came on.
Well, you can't fake it.
No.
I mean, we turned the corner a while ago. You can't fake shit on the radio.
No, but it didn't even, you guys didn't even try to keep it off the air.
No.
And it was like, hi, we're back. Jimmy.
Right. I do blame you, because I think if you were in the studio, you would have squashed it.
Yeah, it's my fault.
You would have squashed it, said, hey, before it got to that point of no return.
Guys.
Every fight has that point of no return.
Point of no return.
You're starting, and you could stop, but then you hit that switch, and it's over. And I think you would have been able to stop us.
No,
so let's talk about this after the show.
Everything's fine. I walked back in the studio not more than a minute later, and I was like, oh, my God, what did I miss? How the hell did this flare up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least I got to eat my sandwich.
And the dentist...
The dentist
right away?
Dude, I was looking out the window at him while you two were going at it.
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh, my God. I saw the look on his face was, oh, my God, is this what goes on this show? It was so uncomfortable to sit here also in my little seat. I'm just trolling instant feedback. People,
I know.
Anthony, what are you doing right now?
They're talking.
They're talking
to you through the screen.
Like, oh, nothing. I am just sitting here hoping this is a bad dream.
You know what sucks when you have one of those in front of a lot of people? I'm not even counting the audience, but I mean, I couldn't even look at anyone after that break. I couldn't look at Jimmy anymore. I could barely look at you. No. I'm like, these guys just think I'm a fucking lunatic.
It was just. And I looked and went, oh, my God, we have, 2.5 hours of the show left.
Right.
And just knew it was going to be a long 2.5.
All right, let's go to Keith in PA. Keith, what's up?
Hey, Opie Ant.
What's up?
Hey, man.
Hey, guys. That, Ant, I think that happened to a lot of us, man. I had just got out of my car and went over to switch it to my PC at my desk, and I'm sitting there going, what the hell just happened?
I know.
What did I miss? What's going on?
We were all in a really good mood Friday, and like I said, the first hour was a pretty good hour, and we were ready to really have another one of those stellar shows, and then, man.
Yep.
Oh, guys, I'll tell you what, though, it was compelling radio. The only thing, and the favor I have to ask, and I don't know whether you can accomplish this or not, but, man, I'm telling you, I joined Whackbag, and I've been a fan since AAF days. A buddy of mine used to tape you on cassettes, ship them down to me so I could listen to it. That's how big of a fan I was at that point.
Very cool.
It was very cool, and I've been a fan that long, and I never joined Whackbag, because obviously the internet came along a little bit later. I finally joined Whackbag in March. I put one post on Whackbag, and I'm a frickin' piece of meat for piranhas. they went after me because I said, it's just friends having a fight. Don't you people have anything better to do? They don't. We got to get these people jobs, man. They don't have anything better to do than to talk about you guys all day long on Whackbag.
He said they don't have anything better to do. That was his mistake.
Yeah.
You could say, it's just friends having a fight, and then people would have said that. But the second you say, you guys don't have anything better to do, then you're going to get pounced. Is this true? Has Elmo been suspended from Whackbag for 2 weeks for bashing other members? 2 weeks suspension.
My brother will be just fine with that. My God. It made him feel good, I guarantee it.
Oh, yeah. Well, for a brother doesn't want to log on and just read, bashing of his brother.
That's my barometer, though. You don't think I left here Friday going, oh, my God, you're really losing it, dude. You know, I mean, I'm having this inner conversation with myself, right?
Yeah.
And then I see what my brother does and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I'm still cool. I'm still all right. I'm not ready for the mental home yet. You're insane at times.
Here's I actually have a clip on the Opie Jimmy soundboard.
All right.
It's just
you better say Jimmy versus Opie soundboard.
Yeah,
You better give him top billing so no one looks too much into it, right?
Here's the only clip of me on this whole thing.
Holy shit.
And that says it all right there. My tone, what I said, is exactly how I felt.
Is that the only thing you said?
The only thing.
Because I really don't remember you even talking during that 45,
I had a couple of little
minutes.
things trying to keep you guys on track.
I really don't remember.
But they did a better job keeping that train on track in Japan than I could ever keeping this argument on track. Here it is.
Holy shit.
Holy shit. Just an exhausted, holy shit.
I want to go home.
Holy shit. 2.5 hours.
All right, let's go to Cigars and Scotch from whackbag.com.
I just want to make sure I'm getting everything straight before I post. So Opie suspended Jimmy for 2 days.
Till Wednesday, right? You suspended him.
I want to know.
The reason he came in barefoot was that it's symbolic that Jimmy should walk a day in his shoes.
Oh, wow. All right, I want to know whose side you took, bro.
I was leaning heavily towards Jimmy until I heard Yoshi on the air. And then I was back to Opie.
Man, dude, if that wasn't some kind... Even if it meant nothing, did you feel any kind of... like you were exonerated a little when Yoshi was put on the air Friday and completely bombed?
It made me smile a little bit. Just a little.
Oh, my God. Hey, we all love Yoshi.
My biggest frustration is that people don't understand how this show works and how you really have... I unfortunately have to be the guy that is like the point guard, and I just knew that Yoshi was going to stink. No offense to Yoshi. He's just too nervous to do the show. Maybe the next time or a few appearances down the road, he'll be a lot better.
Right. And the way you get that way is by coming in and hanging out. Like you sit and whatever time we bring you in, you sit there, you throw in a quip or two during whatever we're talking about. But to put him on and go, hey, Yosh, your act, all right, what's your act all about? What do you do? I'm just sitting there.
Holy shit.
Wow. Yeah, that was a little like, uh-oh.
Yeah, let's
go.
So
this is what we were kind of talking about.
Let's go to Oklahoma. Stanley, what's up?
Hey, I was just wondering if y'all was going to play that argument from Friday.
Well, we got to figure out how to replay it where it makes sense or something. I have no problem with that.
Well, I was out unloading my truck at the time, and I missed it, and I tried to catch it on replay. My brother-in-law told me about it, and I never did get to hear it.
See, that's why Washington made a huge mistake, because when you have that type of radio going on, people... what you want to do with a radio show is get people talking. Mm-hmm. So if you missed that fight, but you have friends that heard it, they're of course going to tell you, like, oh, my God, did you hear those guys losing their minds on the radio today? No, well, I did not. Well, what channel was that on? And then you get people to tune in. And then instead they're hearing a dumb old Tommy Chong interview. That's just bad programming.
Yeah.
I know I look like an ass. Jimmy looked like an ass. I don't care, though. I knew it made for good radio and that it would make people tune in. So I know there's already links up on, I think, whackbag.com. FoundryMusic.com might throw a link to the fight. It's already all over the internet. So
I'd like to have it replayed, though. It was like, people should be able to hear that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, Stanley.
Well, I hope y'all get to replay it, but I'm a first-time caller, and I just want to say I used to listen to Howard Stern all the time, and since I got y'all, since that free replay during Christmas, I had XM, and that's the reason I got it. Y'all rock, bud. And
Thank
I'll
you,
out.
Stanley.
All right, thank you. I really appreciate it.
That was a little sinister.
You know, maybe on the East Coast we could play it in the 6 a.m. hour with Jimmy and I, you know,
Yeah,
doing
we
an
should
intro
do
and an
that.
outro or something like that
Mhm.
to give you guys one more, you know, chance to get it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are just taping this show on their MiFi anyway. That might be the way to do it. I don't know. We'll figure out something.
That'd be pretty cool.
Pete in Queens, what's up?
Yeah, what's going on? No, it's the first replay. I heard, all you heard Anthony say, the first thing coming out of break was, I'm just going to sit here and eat my sandwich, and then you two guys just go at it.
Yeah, because I saw it was going. I saw there was no way we were doing the show after that. So when we came back from break, before they even started the on-air portion of the argument, they had argued off-air, and it was just too brutal, and I knew it was carrying over. So we come back from break, and I just said, well, I'm going to eat my sandwich, because I knew it was over, Johnny.
All right, Pete in Connecticut. We got to move on here. Pete?
Yeah, dude, it's so obvious what's going on. Dude, Opie's not wearing shoes. Hello? Paul McCartney, Abbey Road. Dude, Opie is dead to the show. Play the argument backwards, dude. Play it backwards.
Very
That,
good.
If
Well, there
it
goes-
wasn't so accurate.
There's the Photoshop for today.
That's it,
Boy,
dude.
That's an easy one.
It is obvious.
Who's going to be the first one to Photoshop that on whackbag.com?
With fucking Yoko Norton sitting over there.
Exactly. Yeah, they were calling him Yoko. It was just...
Yoko.
It was just amazing.
A bunch of asses. I love it.
You asses with your divide and conquer. It's just never going to happen. None of us are going anywhere.
No.
There's no power struggle, none of that crap, okay?
Don't worry about it so much. Just enjoy the program. Whether it's people yelling at each other or you're laughing your balls off, just don't look so deeply into our personal psyches and what everything means.
And Jimmy and I were already starting to goof about the whole fight later on in that show, by the way. When we went to the bathroom and we explained what happened, and we were kind of laughing through the whole thing, how awkward and silly it was that usually we go to the bathroom at the same time just because we both have weak bladders.
Yeah.
And we usually take leaks right next to each other. Well, the show's sounding pretty good today, blah, blah, blah. We'll talk a little small talk, right? And, you know, we walked. We're like, oh, great. We both had to take a leak at the same time. He goes to the urinals. I go in the stall like you usually do.
Sure.
And I slam the stall. We take our leaks, right? And he's finished before me, so he's leaving the bathroom. Slams the door.
Oh, God. Oh.
Then we have to walk back in here. And then we had to acknowledge it, and we talked about it on the air a little bit. And if you listen, we were already starting to, you know, kind of laugh about it. So
move on.
All right.
Jesus.
Okay, let's go to Mike in Jersey. Mike, what's up?
Hey, okay, Ant.
Hey.
I just wanted to know, I mean, because the rest of after the fight, you really didn't. Jay Mohr pretty much took over the show. He went to break, and I just wanted to know what was going through your head. It had to be, like, insane, because it was like two brothers fighting.
No, you know, that's why it wasn't really insane. It was two really good friends fighting or two brothers fighting. I've had knockout fights with my own brothers. I'm from a big family. And I got to tell you, it just felt really good. When that thing was over, and I could see it in Jim's eyes, too, it was like this tension that was building up in both of us that we needed to get out that probably didn't have much to do with the other person, to be honest with you, in a weird way. I mean, the spark was lit because we had a disagreement, and I felt really, really good. The old days, I think I was telling Anthony this over the weekend, I would hold a grudge for fucking weeks on bullshit stuff. And after the fight, I just was like, I felt really good, but the problem was I had a really, really bad headache. Really bad. And I just couldn't even focus or concentrate anymore. And that was the only reason. I even apologized to Anthony. I'm like, I told him over the weekend, I'm like, Ant, I didn't purposely mean to, shut up the rest of the show, but I couldn't concentrate because I had one of those headaches where you can't even, like, see almost.
Yeah.
Where it hurts, where the light hurts. It was almost like a migraine.
It was cool.
So I apologized to him because I'm like, I didn't mean to, throw you in that position to, totally just try to make something happen.
That was cool.
But it worked out, I thought.
Jay with the porno guy, and I took some of that porno home.
Yeah.
Some of that, the facial stuff. Oh, my God. Watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's just brutal. Glazed donut face chicks.
Oh, the Baker Dozen thing?
Yeah, and there was one with one of the girls, and I couldn't even watch it. She had a martini glass.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
10 guys, actually 12 guys.
Oh, boy.
Into a martini glass.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Chug a lug.
Let's go to Danny in New York. Danny, what's up?
Hey, Opie, what's going on, man? I didn't go on Whack there, but one of the other site, I forgot what it was, but they were just totally bashing you, man, the whole time. Like, you won the argument over Norton, and I was like, yeah, man, whatever, man. It was just an argument, and there was no big deal, man.
Oh, I will openly say, I don't think I won that argument, by the way. Are you talking about OpieAnthony.net?
Yeah, I just checked it out on the links, man.
They want me to post so bad on that site, and whenever I'm over there, it's just for some reason, it's an Opie Bash Fest. So I'm like, I mean, we still link them to all our websites, but I don't really get it. I don't really get, what their agenda is over there. So
I don't get it, man. They were just totally bashing you, dude. And like Whackbag was like, okay, it was an equal fight, and you guys had your things to hash out, and
right.
I don't get it, man. They were just totally bashing you, man, and I totally disagree with that, man.
Well, I asked one stupid, lousy thing. Just give me just some slight respect, because this whole Opie and Anthony thing started with me many, many years ago. That's it.
Is that what it is? Because it's like, Norton won, and Norton's better than Opie, and Opie ain't shit.
That's what you get.
Dude, you run the show, man. I mean, you're the boss, and
Well, no, not the boss anymore.
Oh, you know what I mean. But
I mean,
it's like, another thing, man. I met Lee Abrams in Poughkeepsie, believe it or not.
Oh, are you the air traffic control guy?
Holy shit, he told you about me?
Dude, he, yeah, see, I pay attention. He emailed me. He said you're a huge fan.
I was a big fan. Dude, I've been listening to you since any time. I appreciate it. I love the show, and it makes my mornings awesome.
All right, thank you, Mark.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, Eric Logan knows better. He really does.
Yeah?
He knows how this radio works. When you got controversy like that, two guys going at it, it's going to make people talk. Look what happened to the message boards.
I know.
And to not to rerun it is just very bad programming. It's extremely bad programming.
I'd love to hear from him, like, why? What was his reasoning behind it? Why would it have been bad to replay that?
To squash the controversy and throw a Tommy Chong interview at you? Oh, come on. How is that better?
It isn't.
Really?
It isn't.
All right, we should take a break, I guess.
All right. Remind me when we come back, I want to talk about how just technology has screwed us to the point where booking a hotel room has gotten ridiculous.
Oh, I forgot about that, yeah.
It's gotten ridiculous.
Okay. As we go to break, my buddy, my pal, my friend, from his, actually, it's off his first CD, but it's a bit he did for us on WNEW, I guess.
I know that. It was rude. I'm paranoid and I have issues. I don't know, dickhead, because I don't know what was going on that day, fuckface. I'm very calm.
I honestly cannot wait for Jimmy to be here on Wednesday.
I know.
Because it'll be fun to discuss it with him in studio. That's why we're trying not to, we're not trying to say too much where all of a sudden it makes Jimmy look bad or something, because that's not that's not what this is all about, obviously. But once again, I do have to tell you, we're all going to the taping tomorrow night. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a huge night for Jim Norton and a huge night for the show in general. We all have to get on the same page. We just have to, okay? Mm-hmm. Simple as that. You hate me, whatever. You hate Jimmy, whatever. It doesn't matter tomorrow night. It just doesn't.
We must all unite for little Jimmy.
Right, because it's going to be a very, very exciting night for him tomorrow, okay? Mm-hmm. Here's Jimmy.
Feeling low? The best way to not feel like a worthless douchebag is to listen to an even bigger piece of crap.
I am awful.
With the Jim Norton motivational tapes, you'll feel better about yourself instantly.
I stink.
Hate your body? Take it from Jim.
I'm a meaty-breasted little nothing.
It could be a lot worse.
This sucks.
Problems at work?
I effed up an ABC audition today.
Hey, at least you have a job.
Everything I do, I look like the Manchurian Candidate.
You'll be amazed at how much confidence you have after you listen to a mushy little nothing tool on himself for hours on end.
Shut up, chinless. I'm nuts. Almost 13 years I'm doing comedy. God, there is no justice in this world. It sucks. You have the warmth of a trout. What a retard I am. Does anybody not see the disgrace in this?
Everyone loves Jim's inspirational live appearances.
It's a night of pale, meaty-breasted dullness.
Coming to a town near you.
On Margaritaville. I don't sing ever, you idiots.
Stay tuned for details.
Just listen to the station and get tickets, you douchebags.
Love yourself. Hate him.
I suck.
With the Jim Norton motivational tapes.
That's me, Jim Norton, folks. Ugh.
Oh. I'm starting to get hot. Oh. I'm starting to get hot. Oh, no. I'm going to give up my virginity.
All right. Steve.
Yeah.
What was going on in your mind on Friday? all that crap was going down.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Well, you know, we talked. You and I talked about this on Friday night, and it was. I think Anthony and Ben and I looked at each other, and we knew exactly what was going on when it was happening. I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot of. Thought going on. There was like, all right, it's happening. You know, because everybody in these situations, you either talk about what's bugging you when it's bothering you, or you bottle it up and you let it stew, and eventually there's something. Someone says one comment, and it's basically the straw that breaks the camel's back, and that's when everything comes out.
That's a good point, by the way, which you made too. You said this has obviously been brewing for a long time, and you guys really need to talk.
Yeah.
Steve's so right. You know, both of us have just been holding something inside.
Yeah. This is little quips and jabs every so often, but like you said, if both of your switches aren't in the on position, then you just blow it off. One or the other will just say, yeah, we can make some of this, and on Friday it just happened that both switches were up and armed and ready to go.
And it was just cannons going back and forth. This is why bands that have been together for years hire therapists. You know, Metallica was really the only people that figured out that you could videotape it and make money off of it.
I got to tell you something. Watching Some Kind of Monster, that brought everything in perspective with me, because I mean, a lot of the stuff that went on in that movie, you know, Ant and I have had some of those growing pains over the years and stuff, and it was just so good to know that, you know, someone else that out there goes through that.
Yeah,
because no one ever really exposed that before Metallica did.
I mean, but bands have been doing it for years. Aerosmith hired therapists, Megadeth hired therapists.
But I mean, to actually see it on film, you know, where they're calling each other assholes and
all the dirt.
Oh man, if you haven't seen Some Kind of Monster yet, I highly recommend that movie. It's just really, really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you've got this situation where you've got all these very strong personalities, and you're spending a lot of time together in a confined space, and you're not always going to agree.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the reactions can get so volatile, and you just hope to God. I remember Ben and I were just sitting there, and it's like watching your parents fight. It really is. Here's two people that you care about, that you're friends with, and they're just saying vicious, horrible shit to one another. And you're just hoping to God that one of them pulls back and moves on before they say something that they really regret. That's.
I don't know, dickhead, because I don't know what was going on that day, fuckface.
Yeah.
All right. Everyone enjoying the Jimmy versus Opie soundboard. Jimmy and I laughed about that part of the argument, by the way, on Saturday when we talked. We're like, God, we said some really dumb, vicious stuff. And
that is so sociopathic. I almost don't know how to respond to it.
You know what I noticed, and I'm sure Anthony picked up on this. When you think of all the horrible things you've heard Jimmy say when he's mad at somebody, you notice how restrained he was.
Yeah,
he was incredibly restrained.
Well, believe it or not, I was too.
Oh, I know, but I mean, still, he was. You know, I mean, he was almost...
Because, why? Because in the end, we respect each other, and we are friends, and I believe we wouldn't go down that road.
You're convinced
Hugh Pinero hates the show, right?
Are you really on the air trying to throw me under the bus with Hugh Pinero?
Well, now if you want to...
Holy shit.
Whoever came up with that, brilliant, man. I think you can get to it through whackbag.com.
Yeah, we put up links, too.
You can make your own argument.
All right.
Great.
And the other thing I wanted to ask you, do we have the Jimmy Stewart customer service call? We played it.
I always thought
it's
we
from
did.
the old days. We had a version of it, but it kind of just ends.